What if you could see every possible outcome to a scenario? This is the premise of the new media project Possibilia, which is an interactive love story set in the multiverse, whatever that means. It focuses on how one decision can lead to many different possibilities of events. The first scene shows our two main characters fighting as the girl, Polly, decides it's time for her to leave. The original scene breaks up into two different scenes, and from there, each scene divides into two, each taking a different turn and interpretation of the scenario. The only things that remain the same are the words and the people saying them. The inflection, the voice level, the place in the house, and the actions all change as the scene changes. Towards the climax of the experience, there are 16 different scenarios to browse through, each with the same words and characters. Eventually, it all becomes too much for the main characters, and they realize that no matter how many ways a conversation can go, it doesn't change the bigger picture. The story takes place over 8 minutes, and the last scene of the movie ties in perfectly for the beginning scene, meaning that this fight is occurring on a loop. This project creates meaning through its interactive elements and its portrayal of the different possibilities a conversation can take. It is relatable since a lot of people are in or have been in relationships, whether romantic or platonic. It also revolves around a topic that a lot of people spend their restless nights thinking about. What would have happened if I did something differently? The piece starts off with a black screen, allowing the user to click start whenever they are ready. Then, the video experience begins. After about 45 seconds, a message appears below the film saying click the arrows to navigate, and the original scene splits in two. From there, the scenes continue to split until there are 16 different scenes to navigate between. At the climax of the piece, each of the 16 scenes plays flashbacks of previous experiences of the couple, leading up to all of these scenes ending in two separate screens. One of these screens follows Polly, the girl, and the other follows Rick, the boy, while they talk about their true emotions and go through the motions of going back to where they started their conversation. At the end, the two are seen in the video sitting at the table where they began their conversation. While it is a linear piece, there are many different scenes that you can watch play out, with each piece ultimately ending up in the same location. Each scene shows a different way that the same conversation could have gone, nothing changing except the words being spoken and the people speaking them. The design of the project is very simplistic. The video takes place in a typical suburban house with 2 levels, a kitchen, a dining room, and a front and backyard. The couple is wearing casual springtime clothing and the sun is shining where they are. The largest motif that appears throughout the piece is the idea of familiarity. The house that they are in, as well as the situation, is very familiar to anyone who views the piece. The motif is communicated through the suburban household and the heterosexual couple in spring clothes. These elements are used to make it clear that all of these different scenes are happening in the same universe, or multiverse as the creator would have put it, and the video and sound work together to properly portray the scenario in all of its pieces. The viewer participates with the piece through the arrow keys, which gives the participant the ability to switch between the scenes. If the participant wishes to pause the video, they just have to hit the spacebar or click on the pause button. The interaction reflects the ability to flip between different scenes in the multiverse, similar to what Rick and Polly are doing in their conversation. The piece is very easy to navigate, which is important to the piece because if it was any more difficult to navigate, then it would take away from the piece itself. So what did I think of it? I really liked working on this piece for my close reading analysis project. When researching different projects, this one caught my eye the most because of the unique design. Rather than being interactive in a game sort of way or a choose-your-own-adventure kind of way, there were only a limited amount of options to pick from. However, this did not limit the possibilities of the project. Of Manovich's 5 principles of new media, 4 stuck out as being the most relatable to this new media project. With this project, each individual video is its own component. These components are then combined, resulting in the look of the project that we get where there are multiple scenes happening in one. These components all individually lead up to the same final result, but each individual video is something different from the other. In this project, there is not much interaction between the project and the viewer. The only real interaction we get is clicking the keys to go to a different video segment or pressing pause. The creative process has already been done for us. All we get to do is click from video to video. There are 2,048 different paths you can take to get to the final component. While this isn't an example of infinite versions of a project like a choose-your-own-adventure can be, 2,048 paths to get to the same point sounds like a variety to me. By using video to relate to a more modern audience and issue, cultural transcoding is achieved. The new media theorist I agreed with most was Clay Shirky. Shirky is all about the convergence of new media and technology, and said in his TED Talk, "It is less less often about crafting about a single message to be consumed by individuals, and is more and more often about creating an environment for convening and supporting groups. Shirky believes that because the internet contains all forms of media from the past, the media has become a site of exchange and two-way communication. I agree with Shirky, especially in relation to this project, because of the doors this project opens up for people and the way that old media comes together with new media. It opens several conversation topics, leading to a two-step communication process. This project also combines an older, more basic media type with the modernity of video editing and the ease of pressing buttons on a keyboard to change how something looks. This combination is a convergence of media types, which is Shirky's main opinion on new media.